Hello everybody, Grizzly Pig here. Welcome to today's episode, and we've got a big one here because this is the final segment of my Chime Executive Hangar guide. We are on step 3, so we are going to take all of our 7 Compboards over to Chime X-Hang 01 and load them in there and get all the loot, all of the components for the ships that are going to be laying about all over the hangar, and claim our ship as well. Today's video assumes that you already have the 7 Compboards, but if you don't have them, then please check out my other guides, my 4 other installments in this series, where I go through step 1, getting the red cards, and then step 2, where to go to get all 7 Compboards, Checkmate, Obituary and Ruin Station. So when you go to this place today, if you are successful, you are going to be able to claim a ship, one of 5 random ones for you to keep. You get in the hangar, you claim it, it's yours. And those 5 ships are, of course, the 4 you just saw in my showcase there, as well as the Cutlass Black, which I don't have, unfortunately. Wonder does have it, but I do not. But of course, you can get yourself the Syulan alien ship, a very nice looking ship. I have 2 of those, in fact. You can also get yourself the Corsair, which is MVP of PvE fighter ships, and it also has some nice cargo space as well. This is a ship that would usually cost you about 6.5 million AUEC to buy. The Hornet is also in there as well. It's another ship that's about 5 million to buy, give or take, depending on which version you get, but this ship is absolutely goated. I love the Hornet. And of course, the big prize, the F8C Lightning. You cannot buy this from a ship shop. The Executive Hangar is one of only 3 ways of getting it that I'm aware of. The other 2 is either there is a Wicklow version. In fact, there are 2 Wicklow versions. There's a military version and a stealth version that you can get if you want to, but it's very expensive to get. And speaking of expensive, if you spend over $1,000 in the pledge store, you will also receive a Lightning as well. I believe it is the F8A version, however, which is slightly better. I don't have one though, so I cannot confirm this. And to wrap talking up about these ships here now, I will say that all of these come with top parts on them. They're going to have a selection of military and stealth A components. A couple of the components can be duds, but in general they're going to be very good. NDB-30s for the guns as well. These ships are premium tier ships. So I'm going to be timestamping this video for you guys, so you can skip ahead to whichever bits are relevant for you as usual. The rest of this video is going to be split into 2 parts. So the first part that I'm going to show you now is us heading over to Chime X-Hang 01 as a scouter. So we're assuming that one of my other guys has got a set of Compboards. What we're going to do is head over there and scout the place out to make sure it is safe. And as usual, in the descriptions, guys, I'm going to leave you website for the Star Citizen tool so you can see the maps for all the locations in this series. But also I'm going to leave you an additional website here as well, which is relevant for the Executive Hangar, because it's going to tell you the timing of when the Executive Hangars open. Now, at the time of this video, the website is out by about half an hour, and that's because the website needs recalibrating to the time of the servers, because since we had a patch, it is now just out in the timing a little bit. So I'm just going to explain how the timing works. So what's going to happen is the Executive Hangar is not going to be active for 2 hours, and then it's going to open for an hour. And when I say open, I mean in this time frame you are able to load the Compboards into the consoles and access the hangar. The hangar itself is not going to just be open for you when you get there. It doesn't work like that. And then after that hour period where the hangar is available to be opened, within that time you can go in there, claim your ship, claim your components. After that, you have a 5-minute grace period. After this period, the whole place is going to fill with gas and everyone is going to be smoked. Anything that's left in there, you can no longer access. It's gone. But don't worry though, if you've claimed the ship, you've got it to keep. It doesn't even matter if you don't raise it or you leave it in there. You can go back to a station and retrieve it, not a problem. So there you have it, a 3-hour and 5-minute rinse and repeat cycle there. 2 hours, the hangars are offline. An hour, they are online. 5 minutes grace period, which means that every day the timer is going to be 40 minutes behind the previous day if you compare 2 windows the same but 24 hours apart. So anyway, we're here now, and you'll notice if you watched my first episode or you run the red cars that this place is very similar to Chime 3.4 and 3.5 where we get the red keys. You might notice there are 3 asteroids here with Executive Hangars in. We can see the giant metal antennas poking out of the asteroids here, which make it very easy to establish where the entrance for these hangars are going to be. And we are spamming the hell out of our scanner so we can get a good idea of where everything is and not hit any spacebergs, of course. So we're going to go to this middle one and check this out here. And if you show up here to scout when the window has just opened, you're going to be wanting to look out for enemy ships. Oh, be careful here. Don't do what I just did and nearly hit Spaceberg. Because this is a PvP contested zone, people will probably want to try and steal the hangar from you and take your cards if you can. Oh, some missiles coming in there. I'm not sure they're going for me, but we're going to do some noise and decoys just to be safe. So we can see this antenna poking out here, exactly the same as PIAM 3.4 and 3.5 with the orange canisters below as well. So that marks the main entrance right there in the middle, but there is also another entrance as well, a side entrance just to the right of us from here. And this entrance to the right of us is actually going to take us to an elevator that allows us to come in on the eastern and western flank of the EVA chamber where we're going to load our Compboards in. So here I'm just going to get in a little bit closer to show you where this entrance is, but it's just tucked around the side here. Again, it's very similar to PIAM 3.4, 3.5. This is where you would come out once you've got the red key card, if you can imagine that. And that entrance takes you to an elevator, as I say, that gives you two options where you want to go, east or west of the EVA chamber. Anyway, we're going to head in, and just like any other airlock, we're just going to click the button and head in here. And before you get in here, also take note of any ships, because it is important that you tell the guy with the Compboards that's coming if you find this to be safe, and you give him the go ahead to fly over, because if there's any ships that are not ships that you noticed on your way in, that could be a player that's just showed up and who is ready to try and snipe the Compboards off you guys. So when you come here in the window, you should see pretty much what I'm seeing. So when you get in the entrance, you can look through this window here and see what's going on. I'm showing you now the 3 locations where you feed the Compboards in with the reticle of my gun. You should notice that the red door is unopened at the back there. That means that no one has unlocked the hangar yet. But one difference that you should notice is all of the lights, all 5 of the lights will not be red, they will be green. If they're red, it means you got here too early. They should all be green, because only when they're all green along those tubes there you see, will you be able to load the Compboards in. If they're red like here, this is on cooldown and you will not be able to feed the Compboards in. So here right now you can see card 1, 2, 3 console, and above us over our left shoulder is card 4, 5, 6. That's where you feed those 3 in. And then over the bridge to our right, you're going to feed Compboard number 7 in. But if you're a scouter, what you actually want to be doing when you get here is checking for other players. There's lots of little places you can hide around here. So we're just going to have a look at some places that people can possibly camp here, and places that you can also use to keep safe and keep an eye on the EVA doors. So behind these pillars is going to be a good one. You can see here you can go in F4 mode and get a nice little view if anyone pops in. People can also hide above and below all these tubes here, so be careful for that one. I can't quite get above this one at the minute, but you can hide around them and obscure your location. And these blue areas here, there's 2 of them. These strips are not EVA when you put your feet on them, so you can run around these if you want to. Under the tube at the front is also a blind spot, and a couple of really good places to keep a lookout from these pillars here and this little area, because you're quite close to the EVA door. One of you can hide behind here and keep an eye on that door, and another one of you can go around the other side and keep an eye on the other door there. But you can see there's plenty of space here. You really do need to scout the whole lot, because if there are people in there and they kill you, they will take your boards, and that's all your hard work gone. And then there's one last little place as well where people can hide up the front under the entrances to the EVA. These little shelves here, you can tuck yourself away and keep an eye on the EVA door right there. Also a great thing to do, not right point blank what I'm doing here, but keep an eye through this window, because you can see the entrance here. You can see players coming in from that main entrance, and this here is actually not made of glass, just for your information. You can't pass through it, but as you can see, boom. So that's it for the scouting. Anyway, once you are sure that it is safe, you can tell your guy to come over with the Compboards. When he does, if it's just 2 of you and you're scouting, just stay in here and keep an eye on the entrances. If there's more than 2 of you, then one guy can go out and meet him and just keep an eye out on the ships that could potentially be other players there to snipe you. So now I'm going to show you from the perspective of a Compboard loader. I have the Compboards on me. Pant and Wonder Cargo have already done that, which we talked about earlier, scouted the EVA chamber for players. players, and it was safe, and they told me to go ahead and come over. I flew over here with my Gladius. Didn't notice any unique player ships, so we are running like the clappers here now. It's now or never. This is where you've got to be quick, because all you're trying to do now is keep ahead of any players that could potentially come in and snipe you on the back end, since we're pretty sure that this is safe ahead of us. So now we're going to go ahead and load the board. So I am starting with board 4, 5 and 6 here in this case. I've got them in my inventory in the order that I know, so I can make this really quick. So most of the time you're going to have to go in your inventory and select the board you want to put in. But sometimes you're able to just look at the console and place it without actually going into your inventory. And when that happens, that's really nice, because it makes it just that little bit quicker to get these comp boards loading in. This shouldn't really take you longer than a minute to do all 7 comp boards though. So now I'm going to do card 1, 2 and 3. And it's the same story, just load them in as quickly as possible. Pant and Wonder are going to keep an eye out on the entrance and through the glass there. I am super vulnerable at this point. Not only because I'm not concentrating and looking around for players because I'm concentrating on the boards, but also because I'm in EVA, and you're not really as maneuverable in EVA. If a player comes through the door, it's very easy for them to shoot me. There are lots of people that do this solo, of course, and you'll see videos of people doing such, but I don't really recommend it. It is a little bit dangerous to be doing it. I cannot honestly, in good faith, recommend you come here on your own. So anyway, we're going to load in the final comp board number 7. And once this is done, get on the bridge and you run as fast as you can through that door. Speedy Gonzales, do not stop. And at the back of the bridge here, there is going to be an elevator. Get in the elevator as soon as you can. Everyone get in. Even if you think there might be players behind you, at least one of you needs to run as fast as you can into this elevator while your other team members hold them off if needs be. So when you're in the elevator, you're going to have 2 options of where to go. Basically, there are 2 side faces of the hangar, and the elevator can take you to one of each of those side faces. And this hangar is just like any other hangar. It's just got a load more junk inside. So when you get in, you can establish right there, you can see where the hangar door is. Run the opposite side of that where the console is going to be for you to claim the ship, and just run as fast as you can. No one is going to be in there ahead of you if you do it right and you do it like this really quickly. As you can see, just like any station hangar, go up if your teammate will let you to the A stop and claim it. And since I have all of the ships except for a Cutlass, Cargo is going to claim this one anyway, and congrats to him there. That is a Hornet. And as you can see, Pan is already hard at work getting the components out. So I've got to show you where the components are located right now. So in this corner here, there is possibly going to be some components on top of this industrial lifter right here. Put your light on if you need to. It's a little bit dark, but Pan has already lifted the Spectre from there. You might find yourself a juicy TS2 right there if you're lucky. And we're also going to check the other side as well. And I just like to run in here with my tractor beam gun on, because there's usually a component hiding behind here. This time you can see it is an Umbra. And we're just going to grab these and yeet them into the center if it's anything we want. Looks like I'm not interested in that right there because I've just left it. And there you can see Wonder Cargo has raised up the Hornet. Now we're going to go over this side, and in here you'll see that there are some components. Lux Core, I believe they are competition size 2 A grade, but you can also get JS 400, and possibly if a JS 500 is going to spawn, it is probably going to be there. I have not seen a JS 500 yet, but let me know what you guys reckon in the comments if you have had one, if it's possible. If not, where do we get the JS 500 from? Also the FR86 shield, military size 3, I would be interested to know where to get that as well. Here you can see another spot where there's always going to be coolers right there. You just saw Wonder lifting those into the middle. This time we've got some stealth components there. So we have just another couple of spots to check. So we're going to run the opposite side of where we found those coolers right there. And just midway along the junk, you can find a component right there. You saw we've got an XL1. And right in this spot here near the garage door, you can see we've got some more components. Usually there's only 1 or 2, but we got a bit lucky this time. it's always going to be shield generators in this spot. Size 1 and 2, I've never actually seen any military shield generators other than the FR66 though. That's just my personal experience. Again guys, let me know if you have found the FR76 and 86, because if you cannot get certainly the FR86, I don't know where else you can get it. So there's two ways of doing this. If you claim a ship and it is a ship with cargo on it, so the Siulan can do this, sure, but more the Cutlass or the Corsair, you can just load the components straight into the back of that and then obviously get out of here as soon as you've loaded it up. Quickest way of doing it, since we don't want other players coming in here and taking our loot. But if you get the Hornet or the Lightning, congratulations, first of all, very nice ships, but you cannot take cargo out with them. So what we're doing now is plan B, which is effectively picking up all of the components we want and just yeeting them out the front of the hangar door right there. And then once we're done looting this place, we're going to bring one of our ships around the back of the hangar and load it up. Just be aware that when you do bring a ship around the back here, it is very gloomy. You will need to use your scan to be able to see where to go, or you might crash. But it should be easy enough to locate, certainly if you are the guy who claimed a ship, because you'll see the ship marker, but also use def marker or party member as a vector to see where you need to go. So we're nearly done. Just going to throw out this last component here and we will bring a ship round. But before we do, we're also going to have a little look around for guns and stuff like that, because you can get rail guns in here. If you go up to the platforms around the edge where there are ladders going up, there will be some weapon boxes that you can also loot there, so check them out as well. And don't forget to keep an eye out on that timer, guys. Certainly if you're loading the ship up, you don't want to be smoked in there with your ship full of components, because once the gas hits, the hangar will reset. You won't be able to get back in it and you'll lose all of your components. Also worth noting that on foot you cannot actually get out the door, at least I can't. So if you do find anything important that you want to take with you, you either have to fly out in the ship or you have to go back out the elevator in which we came in from. Anyway, that's just about all you need to know about the Executive Hangar there. Thank you guys for watching. Please do check out the other videos prior in the series. If you found these helpful, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. It would be greatly appreciated. Definitely stay tuned for future episodes, because I've got a bunch of AUEC. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but I want to buy a beastly ship. I'm not sure exactly what it's going to be, but it's going to be something big and massive, I'm sure of that. Also, we're going to take a little dive into where to get grade A components, both military and stealth. I'm going to show you guys where to find pretty much all the components you're ever going to need. Anyway, thanks again for watching, guys. Good luck with the Executive Hangar, and I will see you all next time.